All right, so we've got a mountain of stuff here from Ruud van Nistelrooy, all his post-match thoughts after that 5-2 win against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, quite the game.
It was. And you lot, you've sent us all this stuff, not just the usual match reports, though. You want us to, get into the real meat of it all. The stuff behind the scoreline, right? And I reckon this quote's a good kickoff point. In any capacity, I'm here to help the club further to build towards the future. Blimey, that's quite something, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, think about it. Ten Hag's exit, that was a proper shock, wasn't it?
Oh, totally.
And then Van Nistelrooy steps up like this. It makes you think there's more going on here than just the goals.
Way more. Way more.
Oh, yeah. Loads to unpick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, the way Van Nistelrooy deals with the whole Ten Hag thing, that's fascinating in itself.
It is, isn't it? He's not hiding the emotion, is he? You can tell he's genuinely sad to see Ten Hag go.
No, not at all.
But then he just, switches gear, like a true pro,
Yeah.
Highlights the trophies, all the progress they made under Ten Hag. That's class, that is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Real class. I mean, he could have just trotted out the usual, we're moving forward stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Could have just stick to the script.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He's honest about it, all those mixed emotions. It's like when he says, it's important to focus on Sunday and the league game against Chelsea. What the future holds, let's wait on that. He's committed.
Right.
To United. But there's also this ambiguity there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a bit, yeah. Makes you wonder what's going through his head. It's not every day you see an assistant manager step up like this.
Exactly.
And, it does make you think about the club's long-term plans.
It does, doesn't it?
Is this just a temporary thing, or are they getting him ready for something bigger?
Yeah, are they grooming him? Yeah, it's a good question.
Big question. But you're right, that dedication to the club, it's clear, isn't it? He's not just there to see out the season. He wants to be part of building something that lasts. Like that quote we started with, it really emphasizes that.
Yeah, it really does. And it fits in perfectly with that whole message of never giving up,
Yeah.
That resilience he keeps talking about. Classic Manchester United, isn't it?
Oh, totally. You think back to Fergie's time, all those comebacks, the fighting spirit, that never say die attitude. It's like Van Nistelrooy's channeling that same energy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Reminding everyone what this club is all about. Like that bit where he says, we promise to fight for the 75,000 fans and the millions at home watching and supporting United. For them, we wanted to show up, show this club is building and continuing to fight and never stop. Pure Manchester United DNA, that is.
Absolutely. And it's not just talk, is it? You see it on the pitch. Right, let's talk about Bruno. 2 goals, finally breaks his duck this season.
About time, eh?
It was. But it's how Van Nistelrooy talks about it. That's what I find interesting. He says, with his qualities, we knew he just needed some luck to get the goals going, and then they'll come in bunches. It's not just praise. He's explaining something really important about how players think.
Oh, he knows a thing or two about scoring goals, doesn't he, Van Nistelrooy? He gets it. Sometimes all a player needs is that little bit of luck, that one moment.
To unlock it all.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, bang, the floodgates open. It's like a mental block, isn't it? You see it all the time in sport, don't you? Golfers who can't sink a putt to save their lives, then suddenly they hole a monster one and their entire game changes.
It's mental, isn't it? How confidence can be so fragile.
Yeah, but so powerful, too, when it clicks.
Right. And this is where things get really interesting, I reckon. Van Nistelrooy says they've played better in recent matches, created more chances even, but the results didn't come. And then he uses this phrase, football's cruelty. What do you think he's getting at there?
I think it's those tiny margins. They exist even at the top level.
Yeah.
You can control so much, tactics, fitness, all that, but sometimes you can play brilliantly, totally dominate, but then what? A deflection, a lucky bounce, one moment of brilliance from the other side, and boom, you lose.
It's that chance element, isn't it? The stuff you just can't control.
That's what makes it so frustrating, but also so exciting you never really know.
It's like that Fenerbahce match on West Ham. They had chances galore, but it just wouldn't go in. And then Palace, maybe not as fluid going forward, but they get the luck, and suddenly the goals are flowing. He even says, we had the luck with the post and the deflection.
Yeah.
It makes you think, doesn't it? How much of it all really comes down to luck.
Well, you can analyze till you're blue in the face. Study the stats. But there's always that unpredictable element, that bit of magic or bad luck. It can swing a game completely.
And that's what we love, isn't it?
Of course. If it were all predictable, where's the fun?
Right. And speaking of fun, we have to talk about those goals. Casemiro's screamer, The way it just flew into the top corner. Pure
Oh,
class.
what a hit, son.
And Garnacho's finish.
Yeah.
Cool as a cucumber. Even Van Nistelrooy got caught up in it.
Yeah. It's a good reminder, isn't it, that in the midst of all the analysis and tactics, the psychology even, it's still about those moments of brilliance, the sheer joy of the game.
Absolutely. So we've gone from, raw emotion to tactical breakdowns, from celebrating goals to thinking about Van Nistelrooy's future. What a deep dive. Any final thoughts for our listeners before we wrap things up?
I think what stood out for me, it's the character Van Nistelrooy's shown. Stepping up when things were tough, leading the team with passion, but with a real cleverness, too. It makes you wonder, what does this win and how they got it? What does that tell us about the character of this whole Manchester United team? How will they handle the pressure as the season goes on?
That's a cracker of a question to leave us with. Thanks for being with us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep those football brains working.